We've had a lot of treats in EMEA FACEIT this week where a lot of teams at the top have played each other, and we get another treat again from some matches being pulled forward to avoid conflicts in schedule with flying out for the Dallas OWCS LAN. With ENCE versus Twisted Minds from the Sunday just gone, two of the top teams faced off against each other. Now, these teams both find themselves very much at the top of the standings, obviously with SSG still ahead of them. So, a really big game, I think important for both teams. We've not seen these two teams play since Twisted Minds have gone through all their roster changes, brought in the Koreans in Kellen and Vigilante, and also brought Crispy into that lineup. So I think there's a lot of questions for Twisted Minds in terms of how good this new look version of the roster will be. We obviously saw them not match up to SSG, but then who can right now? Whereas ENCE is sort of a step below. How close will they be to this team? And will we still have that big three teams in EMEA, the SSG, ENCE, Twisted, that we did in OWCS Stage 1? Or do Twisted Minds maybe, is there a bit of a tier break between ENCE, SSG, and the rest of the competition? Now, this is going to be the perfect opportunity to obviously put that to the test. So we can get straight into it here. Let me just talk you through the map bans. We had ENCE banning Busan, Twisted banning Samoa, and then Oasis picked by ENCE. Then Twisted banned Midtown, ENCE banned Paraiso, as you would expect, want to stay away from Dive. And then Ike was the pick by Twisted Minds, which really has been Twisted Minds' go-to pick where they can. Then if we need the third map, ENCE banned Junkertown, Twisted banned Shambali, and Rialto was the pick by ENCE. So potentially a bit of a different look from both teams on Rialto if we get there. So we can jump right into this one. We're going to start with Oasis. And it'll be ENCE on the left-hand side of our screen, Twisted Minds on the right. And we're going to start on University, which means we're going to have a big old fight on this high ground, as per usual. Now, we've seen a lot of variety in compositions, particularly on this map, a lot of venture. We'll see if either team stray into that category here. Generally speaking, Kev has been playing a larger variety of heroes. And we'll see if that translates here. Doesn't look like too many surprises right now, maybe except for the fact that Vigilante's hovering Moira for now. We'll see if he sticks to that. Will be Ramattra Tracer, so a very aggressive version coming out from Twisted Minds here, but they've gone the opposite side, so ENCE actually get this high ground for free. They'll be quite happy with that, and Kev is on the Pharah. So they're going to try and deal with this Pharah and cast spam from the high ground. They're just going to play through point for now, Twisted Minds, as Vessler tries to take a little bit of space. Now, Vessler has to be careful, because if Twisted Minds find a chance to go, they will go on him, and that might just be their decision here. He tries to go, he tries to disengage to the opposite side. Sometimes you'll see Sigmas do this where they disengage a different direction from their team to try and create a bit of a pincer crossfire. But this time, Yubi was behind Vestala, so it ends up being an easy one. They still have this high ground to deal with, but with tank advantage, Kellen's going to be able to take all of that away. And Kai and Ghost will have to concede the space. First fight over to Twisted Minds. And we'll take a slower fight on the choke now. Kellen is a little bit separate from his team now, holding this off angle, and Yubi has got himself in behind again. So they have to deal with Yubi, obviously with no tracer of their own. He's going to be relatively uncontested, but Kev just walks in and killed Vigilante. Lamp has been forced now by Yubi, but with the main source of healing gone, the rest of Twisted Minds, they're scattered, they're low, and they will be cleaned up. Kevster makes that early aggressive move, connects for rockets, and now do it. Vigilante's now going to be going onto the Baptiste, which gives him a bit of an opportunity to play slow, but Keller's going to get caught out early on here. Vigilante tries to save him with a lamp, but no doing. But they lose Kevster. A chance now for Twisted Minds to repush before Kevster's fully back in the fight. And you can imagine they'll certainly be taking advantage of that. Yubi will be the first to point. Kev is getting taxied though, so he should be here in time. Looks like they want to go just through main for now, as Kellen is T-posing through choke. Vestler comes back through the slow onto Vigilante, under pressure. Kellen's going to form back, later form from Vestler. Now the window comes out, but it's Ghost who dies as the window is popped. No source of healing now, so ENCE have to try and win quickly. They have the beat if they want to double down on this fight. Crispy doesn't quite have his beat yet, but ENCE won't know that. So instead, they're just going to play it safe, ENCE. They'll take what capture progress they can and reset back in spawn. Now, Vestler's actually still quite far forward here, so they're trying to get angles on Vestler to force him back, but Vestler's block is okay. Does mean Keller has form advantage now and will be happy to just keep wailing on Vestler. Now the window to keep going. Yubi is behind Vestler, has to pop the Annihilation, tries to turn on Quartz, but they demolish him. Vestler ends up wasting that Annihilation, and Twisted Minds in a good position now. Beats are equal, but annihilation advantage for Kellen. A chance to keep going for this one. All they have to do is avoid getting one shot by this barrage. Just holding up the choke this time. Expect Yubi to make an aggressive move behind, as he so often does. Kellen wants to go left-hand side here. Chance to go quickly. High noon swing from Quartz. Actually, that forces Vessler in. They beat to respond. Beat comes back from Crispy. Keeps them all alive through this, and they'll trade Kevster. 1 for 1, but now Kellen has this annihilation. Trying to walk on Massa, but will be forced back by the High Noon. So only a 1 for 1 trade. Not the value they were hoping for out of that annihilation. And now they have to concede space back towards point. No ults on the table now for either team. Yubi's going to have to reset as well. And the Cass advantage doing wonders for ENCE as they can bully Kellen off the point with a bit of help from Kai. Shield comes out for Kellen to keep this one contested. They are rolled back now, but Ghost nearly has this window, as does Vigilante. Kev going to help the front line with that deflect. They have got the flip back here, ENCE, but only one fight away from securing victory at Twisted Minds. They come back on. Window slightly earlier for Ghost. He died immediately the last time he dropped this one. He wants to go right-hand side. He's going to try and walk through the tracer. Big damage. He's so deep. Has to lamp himself out of that one. Vessler's coming from the other way. They try and window back here, Vigilante. And they have managed to stabilize, but Quartz has his off angle on the left. An aggressive trade of windows, but nobody dies. And both teams able to stabilize. Kai's going to get the next pick now on Yubi. Kellen and Crispy are trying to make these aggressive moves on the right. Crispy's gone down. He's gone in. But Kellen couldn't follow. And now ENCE are actually in pole position. They're about to have beat, about to have annihilation. They might just drop this High Noon to make the touch difficult. Trying to make their way through now. Yubi can blink for it. Will blink through. They'll try and clear him quickly. Kev dashes for it. Kellen's going to have to try and get the next touch. Beat comes through, though, and Vessler is walking on the back line. So much pressure onto Quartz and Vigilante here. They cannot survive. They're going to be overwhelmed. They've got 3 people on point. They're trying to flip it, but ENCE will be back in time. Now they can take the 5v3. Kellen's got the annihilation. They have to deal with that. High Noon from Kai forces this back. Even kills Yubi, actually. So now seal it for ENCE, and Twisted Minds couldn't quite find the finish there. And ENCE recover from, particularly that annihilation, really left them in a bit of an alt hole. But so far, one thing that we've seen twice in a row now is Kai saving his High Noon for the annihilation. And it just stops Kellen taking any real forward progress or being as aggressive as he'd like to be. And it's allowed them to trade what is traditionally one of the lower value ults in terms of a High Noon for one of the more high value ults in terms of the annihilation. So something that they need to factor in here, Twisted Minds, if they can find a way to be more ready for it. Or even bait it out first. We're going to get D.Va, Cass, Torb now. Very much a classic composition that wants to play to anchor point here. They go top first fight, though. Normally you would go car side with this comp, but maybe they have the read here, ENCE. Because Twisted Minds wanted to meet him there. They're going to try and rotate through here, Twisted Minds, but they're going to have to run past this shooting gallery first. Magnetic Grenade will catch Crispy as well. And forced to slow themselves down here, Twisted Minds, and play from cars themselves as Kai and Vessler get themselves on point. They're going to swing out on Vessler now. Wall off onto Vessler to try and clear it as well. They try and boot Yubi in. Yubi is a little bit deep. But they should be able to get their man out here. They have to lamp for it, though. Lamps exchange. Vessler is awfully low, and Ghost has to drop to get that shift healing. Twisted Minds now on top of point, and they've got ENCE pinned back. But they do lose this shooting war over time. Kellen's had to form defensively as well, so no chance to be aggressive. A wall off onto Ghost, but he'll jump up. Twisted Minds just trying to reset cooldowns, and there's that early window. Quartz caught out in the open. Window back from Vigilante, but I don't know what he can really find here. He can keep them pocketed up, but they have to deal with Kai on the flank. Lamp will be used by Vigilante. Don't know if he needed that one. They're going to beat to keep pushing here. They try and swing out. Have to try and avoid this High Noon as they go. A scary rotation through, and Vessler's just hunting Vigilante down the entire time. Molten Core now to make sure they survive. Capture still hasn't flipped, but that should be enough to see him over the line now. They try to force the aggressive play through main, even without Quartz. And Vessler just stuck to Vigilante like glue, refused to leave him alone, killed him through the beat over health. And they had to use quite a lot for that, the beat, the DPS ults. Only the self-destruct now. So Twisted Minds have ult advantage, but difficult on this big open city center point to use that one. We'll see how they choose to start it. They need to try and clear Vestler. They'll start by clearing Kev off this angle. Now they can look for some pressure onto Vestler. Vestler keeps it contested. More damage onto him. He's down to less than half health. Only a couple of bars for Vestler, but they can't really chase him onto this high ground. Meanwhile, Kev has swung the other side. UB's pushed him, though. He's dealt with massive self-destruct to try and respond to that one. Kellen avoids it, though. Player advantage. They deal with the flank here, Twisted Minds. But the window is up. Crispy's looking for it. Boop onto Kai. Doesn't force him off the high ground, but when Kai deals with that one, no problem. Vestler is still anchoring point here. Will be forced out now by this annihilation. They can kill the baby, but they need to try and keep Kellen up. Kai thinks he can kill him. He's right. Kai's not done with this point yet, but Quartz wins the duel. Kevster is back on Tracer. He'll join Massa now. It's a 2v1. Quartz gets Massa as well. And they actually get a flip off the back of that. How did Quartz just win duel after duel, and Kev has to concede for space because Crispy and Yubi are back? Twisted Minds get an unlikely flip just when they needed it as well, and they actually get to hold on to the window, the High Noon, and the Mail. Vestler is back on Ram now. More of a traditional looking matchup. Early window onto Vestler. High Noon in response from Kai. Tries to swing the other way. Chance for Quartz to High Noon back now as well. But they're just trying to bully him out of this window still, and it's Yubi who finds the initial kill. Force back out here. Kellen has to take Lamp. Will shield himself out as well, and Kevster's in the back. Kevster's killed Vigilante. This fight's not quite over yet, but Yubi with the mail tries to kill Vestler. Will kill Vestler. Now they want to try and kill the backline. Twisted Minds decide instead to turn their attention towards Kevster. Kevster's good for the pulse bomb. Kellen is low. Crispy is low. Kevster's desperate for help. They deal with him. The wall off main from Yubi provides for space, provides for time for him to focus down Kevster, and Twisted Minds managed to stabilize. Honing a beat still available for Twisted Minds. Massa has the beat to match, and Ghost has a window. And Twisted Minds looking for an early wall here. Wants to put pressure onto him, and High Noon swing as well. Vestler will be forced all the way out. Kellen's going to keep going. Beat comes through. Later beat from Crispy, so Twisted Minds can keep going. They kill Massa with the High Noon as well. They're still plowing forward. Pressure onto Vestler. He's taking so much damage. Ghost tries to clutch with a flank window, but everyone from Twisted Minds is here, and that window will get zero value. Twisted Minds can keep holding close. They have the annihilation. They have the window soon to keep going. Vestler does have an annihilation to match, but he has to try and get through this window. If he finds himself standing in front of that window when everyone's shooting, he's going to have a really bad time. They need to factor in the touch here as well. Now it'll be Kev's duty. And Twisted Minds wants to go aggressively. Wall off onto Vestler again. They're pressuring the outside. Crispy looks for the boop in. They catch Massa. Kevster does have the touch. The Twisted Minds, they just want to kill everyone outside. Vestler with the annihilation back. Kellen will use it in response. Vestler gets the lamp. Kai just managed to find the pick onto Crispy, and the flip goes through. Twisted Minds now have a decision. They choose to go back and deal with it. Pulse bomb trade from Kev. Kev's got insane value. Now they're 3 people on point. They're going to play for the flip, but Kev isn't done just yet. He wants to hunt them down. He wants to force them out. He'll force the ice block. He'll clean them all up. They try to ignore Kevster to kill everyone in front, but they only were able to get a couple of kills, and the annihilation from Vestler meant it took ages to kill him. And in that time, Kevster flips for point. He gets the pulse bomb trade. And Twisted Minds have been undone by the Tracer flank here. Coming back on ball. Coming back on Moira. Desperation time for Twisted Minds. It's now just a dive comp. Yubi will get the touch. Kellen's looking for this engage onto the high ground. Avoids the High Noon. And Twisted Minds will try and take a pause. Yubi can keep getting the touch for now. Blinks one more time. Kellen's going to come through as ENCE try and rotate away from this dive. Twisted Minds have the high ground. But still a lot to do to win this fight. Kellen's going to be looking for his next engage. Lands on Kai, forces for Lamp. Now the window comes out. Kellen's going to have to get himself out of there. They save Kai thanks to that window. And Vestler has kept point contested. And Kevster manages to hunt down the ball. Player advantage. Vestler is low. They need to finish this kill. He's so low. They do get the kill. No tanks on either side. But Massa's dealt with a threat high ground. And now Kevster with Pulse Bomb. A chance to finish it. He's done so much for his team already. But can he do more? Vigilante is low after Fade. Finishes that one. And they overwhelm him ultimately. He doesn't even need the Pulse Bomb. And ENCE take a good map 1. Back and forth, it has to be said. But ultimately,
ready for battle.
Kevster finds big value in crucial fights. Drags ENCE through that one, as Kev has done for any team he's been on over the years. And we'll move on to Icon World, where Twisted Minds are going to use their classic ball defense. Might swap to dive as well. So a different look here, a different problem for ENCE to solve. Obviously, ENCE don't really have dive on the cards for themselves. So they'll be trying to force the brawl through. So the second point will be the real test for ENCE, if they can even finish it or how much time they can get out of that. The nice thing about ball on defense is you always have a chance to go quite early, try and force out an early lamp or something. So far the ENCE backline has been fairly solid. A couple of odd deaths here and there, but for the most part they've kept Kai alive through most of the attempts. Kev will be swapping onto Tracer as well. Early slam comes in. Damage, but no lamp forced. And just have to try and make the first move. They're actually sending Vessler back to spawn to go Sigma here. So the rock provides Kellen with another obstacle to try and factor in as he crawls his way back onto the high ground. Looking for the slam just onto the Sigma for now. Vessler will take a little bit of space. Down to half HP. Will we get full pocketed, and now a chance for Ghost to move. Another slam comes in onto Vessler. He deals with it, but Mass has found the pick. Kellen is disrupted him. He's booped Kai out. They're trying to get back into this room here. Quartz is on the high ground, though. He's got them all in his sight. The disruptor shot is going to do a lot, and Kellen has forced this lamp now, but backline is vulnerable. They'll force their way through, and they should be able to finish off Vessler and the rest too. And this is the problem for ENCE. They've got to try and walk forward. They've got to avoid the ball slam. They've got to deal with the tracer pressure. And the main threat, the real danger of it all, is Quartz is going to have rail as they walk in. So they've got to find a way to avoid all of this. And now the job's only going to get a little bit trickier as Kellen gets close to mines and Yubi has a pulse bomb. An early engage again. Ghost desperate to hold on to that lamp. Cops a body shot, but will be okay. And now ENCE can take a little bit of space. Ghost lagging behind again, trying to avoid this, and it's too far back, I think, actually, because Kai now gets caught on the other side. Again, Quartz finds that opening pick. They want to chase him all the way out. Ghost and Massa will be okay, and actually Kevs is able to get one trade, but Quartz is still walking forward. They'll have to reset again. They do lose Kellen, but Ball is the fastest character in the game, so he'll be back in no time. Means they probably won't be able to engage in spawn here, so ENCE can get through the choke for free. But afterwards, they'll be having to watch out for these mines as they come through. Kellen swinging around the opposite side now. Vessler baits him out. Kellen sees that ENCE haven't walked yet, so holds onto his mines. They're going to try and rotate through now. One more slam comes through. Kev deals with Quartz. A major threat down, and now ENCE can swing away from the aggression. Hinder grenade hits Yubi. Slows him down. Kitsune rush from Vigilante to keep going. Kellen is behind him now. Has dropped the mines. It's forced the lamp beat from Master to keep everyone up. Now the later beat from Crispy, though. They have to keep disengaging. They're trying to use Kai's High Noon as a buffer. And they can. Another engage comes in. Window from Ghost to keep forcing point. Kellen is above them, though. Massa will get slammed, but Kellen tries to exit, but rolls out in front of the window. Space on the point now. It's nearly all gone. Yubi has to try and keep this contested. Flux from Vessler won't catch. No, it does catch Quartz, actually. Vessler's contained the back line, and the rest of his team can force the cap. ENCE eventually get it over, and Kellen will make his way onto Winston, as he normally does on this defense. The problem for ENCE, though, is that was one of the easier points to deal with. Now Kellen's going to go over top as well. They don't have any ults yet, so just want time off the clock. Hinder onto Kellen. They're going to try and deal with him, and is that guy, as always. You look at Kellen, but Quartz is looking at you. They want to try and get all the stagger kills in spawn here, but the boop is good from Massa, but the boop is also good from Crispy. Denies Ghost his exit. And now they can waste a lot more time in spawn. 3 minutes on the clock for ENCE. But a lot of distance to cover on this Icon Mod second. They're going to try and clear Kellen first. They force him out. Now Form and Twisted Minds are going to give the space here. The gates have opened, so no time to gain there, and Twisted Minds are going to step back. Well, they're going to step back to their high ground hold, and it's Quartz again. Kellen's going to get slowed here, so doubles down, tries to get his primal off, but doesn't. And now ENCE should be okay. Actually, if they want to, Twisted Minds want a Kitsune rush here, it forces the beat out. They still have tank advantage. They deal with Yubi behind. It's just the backline and Quartz right now. Quartz has been a fawn for him so far, but they should be able to deal with him here in a 5v3, surely. He does still have rail. So you got to be careful. Kev's just going to go for it. The slow makes Quartz exit a little bit awkward, but no, he still takes Kev with him. Tracer will be back quickly, but Vesta might be in trouble. He gets booped out. The lamp is still there. The lamp just about keeps Vesta alive, but he's being harassed. Primal to keep going. I don't know if he had to use it ultimately. I think he was dead. Kellen will get the cleanup here. And they do stabilize. But not only does Quartz get the trade, he also drags ENCE so far forward in the chase. Now they're actually able to stabilize just off that. Coming back with a lot of their ults here, ENCE. But they have to do this difficult rotation. Time and time again, we see Twisted Minds be aggressive on this castle. People drop down from one side, drop down from the other. We expect to see Quartz do the same thing here with Overclock. There we go, initial rail. Beat through from Crispy to keep going. Ghost has the lamp. Annihilation in response. Quartz back to the high ground. Got Kai in his sights. Still has that Overclock as well. One more rail onto Kai. He is low. Will get pocketed up. But Vigilante's found the kill. Onto the high ground now. Doesn't even need the Overclock. The beat does the job. The Annihilation doesn't save them. So difficult. So difficult. For the Baptiste in some of these rotations. And again, Twisted Minds set back up. They've nearly got Kitsune Rush. They've got the Overclock already. Going to try and get themselves underneath again. Didn't need the Overclock in the previous fight, Quartz. Looks like he'll be willing to use this one here as well. Will slide behind. Wiz getting chased by the Ram here. Pressure onto Vessler, and Vessler can't really chase. They're stuck inside, but they're alive for now, ENCE. Now the Kitsune Rush will be used, and ENCE are just going to try and walk away from this one. They are actually pretty able to walk away. Hiding a window to try and catch someone. Kev's forcing point behind all of this. Massive does have beat to respond to this Overclock now. And ENCE want to come out the near side. They're going to beat through. Kellen's trying to hold the choke. Kai's trying to force his way onto the high ground. He gets body shot though, so they're able to trade that. Now Quartz with the bridge position, forces the lamp, deals with the Baptiste, deals with the Lucio. Recharging. And that will be the hold. And Quartz has come to play today. Opening pick in so many of the fights. Even on Oasis, he was doing the same thing. Gets so much value out of the aggressive style that Twisted Minds have. Initiating match. And the hold is good on second. We thought that would be the difficult part of the map for ENCE, and it proved to be true. It was just this stairs rotation time and time again. Twisted Minds happy to commit ults, make it a difficult fight from there, and, well, you saw the problems it caused them. And then Quartz, the guy doesn't miss a rail. Doesn't miss a rail. And Iconwold looks like it might be good value for Twisted Minds again. All of us. We'll see what they choose to do on the attack here. Sometimes starting on dive can be quite tricky because you kind of need the sort of the B or the Kitsune Rush to really help you with disengage. But it looks like they're actually going to go Mauga. It's going to be a Torb Sigma defense here from ENCE. So, high damage. Expects them to play it quite similarly to how they played Oasis City Center, where we're going to see Kev and Massa probably play quite aggressive on the flanks, try and get Kev into these positions to take unexpected duels. We'll see if Kellen sticks in Smaugr. And we're going to go Sim Mauga, actually. So a chance to be aggressive. Normally, they do a TP behind here. Just try and flip the map. They'll come out top. And this looks like what Twisted Minds are going to choose to do again. ENCE will reposition, trying to keep their angles, keep their space. They need to try and absorb this initial stomp from Kellen. If anyone gets caught by it, it can be devastating. TP in is just a fake as they take the frontline pressure. Vessler hits an early rock now on Kellen, but the cardiac overdrive allows him to force point. Yuvi's trying to push this right-hand side, but will run into the Torb. Vessler's trying to take space on point, but Kellen happy to take that fight. Vessler has to Matrix, low on cooldowns, low on shield. Rock is avoided as Twisted Minds take a brief respite. But the ENCE use this opportunity. They want to pounce on Quartz, but here comes Kellen, responds with Stomp. The damage is maybe done though, 4v4. But Mauga's coming out. Rock now onto Kellen as well. More and more damage. Vigilante is split from Kellen here, so Kellen has to run. Quartz still has the high ground. He's in behind. Vigilante and Crispy with him. Masses kind of traps him, but no, Crispy, they've gone slightly different ways. Quartz still finds the kill though. Now they're going to beat out to save Quartz. They will be able to kill Vessler with this one. Master's going to struggle to get out. Kev stuck in the open. UB one side, Quartz the other. Not a situation many people survive. And Twisted Minds, in a minute and a half, on the first attempt pretty much, do get that first cap. It wasn't the cleanest. There were situations where Kellen disengages one way separate from Vigilante, then has to take himself on a little bit of an adventure to keep himself alive. But they get the cap, they'll get the gates open. ENCE stick for comfort now, everybody has ult. And Kellen's going to get himself in castle early, so he's got an off angle here on Vessler. Vessler's going to try and push main, and they're going to flip the map here actually, ENCE. They can anchor the point. TP just used to take space and take angles here from Twisted Minds. Pressure now, Cardiac Overdrive, Kitsune Rush, Molten Core to stop them standing on that one, but they just killed Kevs to through it anyway. Kellen's going to keep going deeper as this beat comes out. ENCE are going to try and push back here. Twisted Minds are awfully split, and they've lost Vigilante in the midst. Vessler does what he does so well, finds this value, and ENCE are able to stabilize here on Cart. Twisted Minds will reset. And the beats for Kitsune Rush there, a bit of help from the Molten Core. Kev is back on Tracer as well. And Twisted Minds trying to take advantage of the ENCE respawns to take this early space. And it looks like they might want to go left-hand side here early if they can. Kev's is above them, so they have to be careful. No TP for now. Flux as well. Kellen is caught in it. Suzu keeps everyone alive for now. Not the greatest value. And now they TP to the high ground. Yubi's fallen down, though. He's going to get his TP back again, maybe. No, happy just to take the high ground with that wall. ENCE try and disengage into castle. They've all lived, but they've conceded the space. And now Twisted Minds are flipping the map. It was an expensive one at the end. They used overclock and wall in that. They still have beat, though. Ghost can window here from main. TP is just a fake. Kellen's going to get forced further and further back. Vessler's encroaching, and Ghost wants to swing with this window. Here's the beat. Kellen wants to go through it. So much pressure onto Ghost. Ghost is going to get booped all the way in. He will fall. They've still got the window to play with. Pulse Bomb's good from Kev in the back as well. Kev's killed too. Vessler will Matrix the rest of his team on point, and Twisted Minds will have to reset. But look how close they've got it with 3 minutes left in the bank. Crucial picks from Kev, and we saw this a little bit in the Ataraxia SSG match as well, where when running the sim, it does free up the Tracer, and if there's one Tracer you don't want to be free, it probably is Kev. Twisted Minds going to do a big long rotation underneath. They have Cage to force point, they have Kitsune Rush soon. Massa needs this beat. They fake one side, then go the other. ENCE aren't fooled for it though, and Kev's still on this high ground, and they catch UB early. The choice now for Twisted Minds wants to engage, but they're going to read Crispy's boop, and Massa counters him. Crispy's now forced out so far. They're going to cage on point, but Crispy is dead. They cage and Kitsune rushes 3v5 though. They're going to kill Vestala, but now they have to deal with Kev on the high ground. How far can the 3 remaining Twisted Mind members go? They had to use 2 ults for that kill. They're going to force point. Kai's going to high noon. He's so low. Can they pocket Kai? Ghost has got the pocket. Somehow Kai's alive. He's stabilized now. He's swinging aggressively. He catches Quartz. And that was the big ult advantage fight. Gone. Thrown away from Twisted Minds. Kellen's going to have to reset. And they used 2 for that one. 3v5. And this has brought crucial time. Massa now has the beat. Vessler has the flux. And now in the same way ENCE made the rotation hell, or ENCE's rotation was made hell by Twisted Minds, ENCE can give them the same treatment here. It is a Winston swap. Quartz has the overclock. They're going to rotate underneath, but ENCE might just be happy to meet him here. Keen to meet him on the choke. Kellen's going to try and force his way out. We'll have to bubble defensively, so they're going to have to go top instead. Meanwhile, UB is behind, but Kevster seems pretty happy to try and find that one, but UB is going deeper and deeper behind, so Kev will ignore him for now. Look for more trades. Overclock will be used. They'll deal with that. Suzu has been forced out. Chance for him. They catch Crispy, actually. Going to keep going onto Quartz. Quartz onto the high ground. But the damage is done. The beat pushback was enough. And ENCE will force one more reset, and now we're getting to crunch time. 40 seconds left on the clock. Flux and window available. But Kitsune Rush nearly there for Vigilante. Twisted Mind should take care to make sure they get in that Kitsune Rush before they fully commit to a fight. Because if they only get one more shot, Twisted Minds, ENCE have bled the time off the clock. They'll get UB and the whole squad underneath. Pulse Bomb. Doesn't find anything from UB now. The window on the stairs, but Twisted Minds, they manage to rotate away. They want to flip the map here. Or at least flip out to his far side. Kev with the Pulse Bomb. Oh, it's got 3! It's got 3! And that's just it. That's just it. Catches him on the rotation. Flux to finish it. A Flux high noon. Nothing Kellen can do. And the damage was done by that Pulse Bomb. And the obvious thing is to take a look at that Pulse Bomb again. We see Twisted Minds come through. This is where the aggressive window from Ghost. A bit too shallow to actually catch anything, so they can't use it as they peek on his final corner. Kev's just going to quickly reposition. Sees him coming. Pulse Bomb's there. Vigilante, I presume, does not have Suzu. Does not have Suzu. Which means this Pulse Bomb takes 3 and most of Kellen's health as well. Can't miss it in that clump. Switched on play from Kev to realise they forced for Suzu and then they can just double down. And ENCE clutch it out. Probably still comes back to that big fight where they just get a little bit split. We see Crispy go for an aggressive play on one side. And we see the rest of Twisted Minds still trying to fight on point. They drop the Kitsune Rush. They drop the Cage on point. That was their big ult fight to win. And ultimately, they throw it away because it's a 3v5. Crispy has gone down. We can take a look. We can take a look at the scoreboard here. Over onto Oasis. Relatively competitive. Biggest standout, maybe Kai on 20 and 3. Ghost on 16 and 3. And there's a bit where we talked about how actually, except for that one death as he windowed Ghost, I think Ghost and Kai were actually pretty solid. Dealt with all the aggression coming out of Twisted Minds there. And then Eichenwald. We see Quartz go 26 and 5. 14k damage, not too shabby. But not enough. Not enough. Ultimately, Kev went 20 and 7. And I think in reality, it wasn't necessarily the amount Kev was doing, but it was when he was doing it. When he was doing it was exactly when his team needed it. He was always able to find those trades, and that's some of the danger of playing these non-tracer compositions or not having someone who can take that responsibility. It gives the other tracer so much freedom. That's why we see a lot of teams play the Pharah, because actually, the Pharah can mark the tracer a decent amount, can deal with him a lot. But without that, it can provide a lot of freedom, especially on these high ground maps, and I think that's a lot of what we saw. Especially on second there, where Kel was able to get frequent trades in the backline and just mean ENCE were always able to stabilize on point. Close from Twisted Minds, close 2-0 as they go. But I think ultimately a good victory for ENCE. I think they very much still look like they're a team in the top 2 category. And player of the match, it's probably just Kev, isn't it? It's probably just Kev. Finishes it with a 3k pulse bomb. Good trades across it. You have to remember that play on Oasis City Centre where it didn't really look possible for ENCE at all, but he manages to steal the cap. He gets the pulse bomb afterwards. And a real vintage Kevster performance. So congratulations to Kev for player of the match. Congratulations to ENCE. Again, we expect both of these teams to make it out of the top 8. And even though Twisted Minds probably do find themselves on the back of quite a bad week, results-wise, I think there's still hope there for Twisted Minds. They look competitive. Quartz still looks like one of the best, if not the best, hit scan in the world. He was doing so much on some of these. And even if we cast our minds back to the SSG series, how much was Quartz doing? Stop letting Quartz play Eichenwald. He does too much. But maybe not too much, because it wasn't enough either time. And ultimately, ENCE probably deserved winners. I think a few situations too many where we still see Twisted Minds doing different things, kiting different ways. It doesn't always seem like a cohesive plan. They still have the star potential. But those mistakes will cost you, especially when you play the top teams like they had to this week. So as much as we expect them to finish still quite high, maybe even top 3, at least top 4, they fall to both the big dogs this week. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.